Coffee break with us. Woo! Hi guys, how are you today? I hope you guys can see me and hear me fine from down here, or hear us from down here. We're trying something a little new. It's been a while since I've done a decluttering video. I'm still doing it. It's still happening. We're still tackling the business. It's just, you know, some things need a little time. I need to emotionally prepare to declutter my highlighters and my blushes. I know a lot of you guys have been digging at me about that. Dani, are you gonna declutter your blushes? Punks. I know what you're doing. So blushes are really hard for me, you guys, you know that. So today we're gonna do bronzers and face palettes. So how do you like them apples? Anyway, for those of you that are new to my channel, when I declutter, I just basically get rid of some stuff that I haven't used in a while, whether it's expired or I have similar products or I just don't want it anymore or someone else could get better use out of it. So please do not faint, do not sigh, do not leave me a nasty comment because I am ungrateful and I have too much stuff. It's basically just, I have too much stuff, so I find a different home for it. No, it doesn't go in the trash unless it's expired. Yes, I do donate products. Yes, I do give it to my friends and loved ones. I hope I've answered all your questions. So let's just go ahead and get started. My bronzers and face palettes and things like that. So my bronzers are all in this little section right here, just in this section, but I do have multi-face palettes, those palettes that have blush, bronzer, whatever mixed in or combined together. So those are kind of all along this area. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and narrow those down first and then get into the bronzers. The bronzers should be very easy to condense because you guys know I basically just use one, maybe two. Sometimes I use a third. All right, so I'm up here. The very first thing that I see is, should we talk about this one? I think we should. Totally gonna like give myself a concussion right now. I just know it. So the Becca Jaclyn Hill Fiasco palette, not because I'm taking a dig at Jaclyn, just because of all the drama around it, because people love to make drama with makeup. Apparently it's controversial. So this is the Becca Jaclyn Hill palette that was limited edition and everyone had a big old stink about it. I actually kind of like it, so we're gonna hold on to that. Then there is this another face palette? No, that's highlighters. Okay, then there's the highlight and contour from the Balm. This is a really cool palette. This was actually in my favorites video for a little bit. The pink blush in there, I didn't really like it, but the powders on top, the matte and shimmer highlights are pretty awesome. And then there's a bronzer in here that I actually was able to get away with. Then we have the Fiona Styles Multidimensional palette. This was also in a favorites video and I also did a review on it. I love this guy. This is one of those palettes that I kind of wish I could use all the time, but I hate to be so repetitive in my get ready with me's. Well, I don't hate it so much since I always use the same freaking products for my brows and my face. But anyway, so there's that. I'm not doing a very good job, am I? Okay, there's the Je ne sais quoi palette from It Cosmetics. Okay, this is a great product. And before you guys say like, Dani, didn't you say you really liked it? I actually do really like it, but I don't like it enough where I use it enough. So I'm definitely gonna pass that one on. Then we have the Flower Beauty Lift and Sculpt Contouring Palette. This stuff is awesome. I love this thing. I kind of want to get the medium deep one, even though I'm totally light complected, except right now because I have a tan. But it's a really great product. Keeping that suckerito. Oh, then I have the Naked Skin Shapeshifter. I'm actually still on the fence with this guy. Do you guys remember I used it in 2 Get Ready With Me's and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I like it. It's kind of dark, blah, 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 whatever. I can't decide yet, but I need to keep using it so that I can get a better, smart decision. I've really only gotten rid of one thing. What am I doing with my life? Okay, any other mixed combo palettes? I guess we'll just get started into this little cubby, right? So, Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow. If you want one bronzer / contour product forever and don't want options, This one, you guys, there's a reason why there's a big hole in the bronzer side. It is amazing. Charlotte, if you're watching my video, which you're probably not, can you sell it individually? Because I don't like your highlighter. But your bronzer in here, the contour powder is, I love it. This, I'm conflicted. I'm gonna give this to my mom because she wants it. I don't ever use it. I can't really get any use out of it. Like, is it really a highlighter? Is it really a blush? Is it really a bronzer? Like, what are you? I don't know. The highlighter is really pretty, but it kind of reminds me of the Jaclyn Hill highlighter. The blush is really pretty, but the actual blush, this one over here, is a lot prettier. And then the bronzer in here is kind of a joke. So I think my mom would like it more. So I'm gonna pass on that. Oh my God, you guys. How many of you fainted? How many? So let's get into the first drawer. This is the Urban Decay Naked Flushed in Native. This was my favorite for a while. I don't really like it anymore. I don't really use it. I think it was one of those products where it was my favorite, but I didn't realize that it didn't look cute on me and I just thought it did, which is kind of a shame. Then there's the Sephora and Pantone Radiant Orchid face palette. I don't know why this is in here. There's not even a bronzer in here, but apparently I thought it needed to be in here, so we're gonna pass on that. Then I have the Riri and MAC collab with the bronzer and the blush that I never use. I just keep it because I'm like, oh, it's rose gold packaging. Oh, I stood in the Nordstrom line for like an hour before they opened just so that I could get my hands on it. Pass. Then I have the Betty Luminizer, aka the Bronzing Bandit. That's what the packaging says. This is a shimmery bronzer, which I never use. Pass on that. Then I have the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. This was the very first one that came out. Why is it in my bronzer drawer? I don't know, but my friend Sam convinced me to buy this for a second time. I bought it once. I hated it and returned it. Then when she came to visit, she showed me how she uses it. I fell in love. So I bought it and I liked it and I loved it and I used it for a very long time, and then all of a sudden I stopped using it and I don't know why. So we're gonna keep that. Then we're gonna move on to the bottom drawer, and then that'll be it for bronzers. Like, what am I doing with my life? I don't have that many bronzers. Well, you guys know how I am. I've been very honest and direct about my like not crazy love for bronzers. This is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. This was actually a recent acquirement of mine. I got it when I did a collaboration video with Ulta, and I got it because it's a waterproof bronzer. Not to mention it's a really pretty color. So I'm gonna hold on to that at least for the summer in case it comes in handy. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Then the Balms Bahama Mama. All right, I have this product because it's a cult product. I have this product because everyone says it's really good. But every time that I use it, I look ridiculous in it. So it's one of those products that I know, like I'm cognizant of how much of a light hand I need to have when I use it, but I don't actually do that. So I end up looking like I rolled around in a vat of brownies, and it's just awful. So if I'm gonna keep making the same mistake, I might as well get rid of the problem. And since I can't get rid of myself, we're gonna like get rid of the bronzer. Then the Avon Light Bronze Bronzing Powder. This is one of my favorites. My top three. This is definitely in my top three. This, the Charlotte Tilbury, and then this one that I'm about to show you. This is the e.l.f. Bronzer in Tan Toffee. This is one of my favorites, and I like this one for summer because it's a little bit deeper, and it's e.l.f. I think it's like $1. Then I have Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. That is this product right here. I actually enjoy this more than Hoola Bronzer, believe it or not. I just don't use it enough. I forget that I have it. This is one of those products that I want to force myself to use because I like it, but I forget it exists. Does that make sense? So I'm like, yeah, I totally like it, and every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's so good, and it smells delicious. But I don't use it. So I'm gonna keep it to force myself to use it. Then I have the two beach bronzers from Urban Decay. I don't think these were limited edition. I think they were with a summer launch, but I think they're permanent. These are two bronzers. They're called Beached Bronzers in Sun-Kissed and Bronzed. They were in a monthly favorites. I did use them straight for like 2 months and I really liked them. But again, how often do I use bronzers? You guys have seen my videos. Honestly, how often do I use bronzers? And when I do, what do I use them for? And when I do use them for contouring, which colors do I use? I tend to stay away from shades like these. So sorry, you guys, but you're gonna have to find a new home. Hoola bronzer, come on. We don't need to get into it. It's a staple. I need to have it because people are gonna say, how does it compare to Hoola? And I'm like, I don't know, because I don't have it anymore, but I definitely need to hold on to it. And then I have NARS Laguna, which is another cult product. I actually went through 2 of these, not in this fancy packaging, the ones that came in like the sleek flat packaging without the brush. But this one came out with the Ita brush. And so of course I ran out and I bought it because my other one I had hit pan in it. So I was like, oh, of course I need to get it because it comes with the brush in it. I never use a brush like this one. So now I just have this giant container that's kind of bulky, but you know, guess I'm a masochist, you guys. I guess I'm a masochist. And then the last bronzer is the Delphic Extra Dimension bronzer from MAC. This was from the Alluring Aquatics collection. Let's just have a moment of candor between us. Moment of truth. This is a product that I'm gonna keep just because of the packaging. 100% because of the packaging. I like the color. The bronzer's great. Not a big fan of the Extra Dimension formula for bronzers. I'll use it for a blush, I'll use it for eyeshadows, but like, is it my favorite like formulation? No, I think it's kind of hard and tricky to use. It kind of reminds me of Rockateur, like that type of formula, that hard baked formula. Rockateur is probably one of my top 3 blushes. If I could do anything to change that product, excuse me, it would be to change that consistency. I love the color, I love the way it smells, I love the way it looks. I just can't, it feels so like clay-like. It's a little bizarre for me, you know? Anyway, so that is it for this bronzer and face palette declutter. Let me kind of scour this a little bit again, just to make sure there's no other face palette in here that I could have forgotten. I think we're good. But just to kind of recap on the products that I'm passing on, because you guys love that part. It gives you so much satisfaction. These are the products that we're going to find a new home for. So the Je ne sais quoi palette, a very old Pantone Universe, the Riri Loves MAC, Naked Flushed, the Sweet Peach Glow palette, 2 bronzers from Urban Decay, Bahama Mama from The Balm, and Betty Luminizer from The Balm. So it's not a good day for The Balm or Urban Decay. Sorry guys, I'm just keeping it real here. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this declutter. I will list the other declutters that I've done in the description box below. I am continuing with the series. I totally am. It's probably gonna be like a once a month type thing. Summer is very, very busy for me when it comes to YouTube. So I'm trying to like, you know, I'm trying to be as productive as I can. So we'll kind of trickle these videos in slowly. I think the next one that I'm gonna do is highlighters. Because for blushes, so for me highlighters is just this section here, right? Just that, oh, you can't even see. It's just one little cubby, that's the highlighters. But for blushes, it's this, this, and this. That's gonna be a really long video. I'm not delaying it because I'm a blush fanatic, okay? Maybe a little bit, but I'm not ready to do that many blushes yet. I'll get to it eventually, you guys, I promise. Anyway, that's all for this video. I will list any products that are super awesome in the description box below. And you know what to do. If you found this video useful, entertaining, or learned something, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye guys!